Well, traditionally on Fez Night, there's no do-overs exactly, unless the technical problems are so bad. But if something goes wrong, or pretty good, I mean, pretty much, there was a problem where I mentioned the woman that should not be mentioned. But of course, certain there's certain people that don't respect certain privacy, and they'll drag in friends and family. So I kind of already dropped the ball on that because I trusted these people that went around mentioning the woman that should not be mentioned. But she's pretty much long gone, so there's less of a problem than there was before. But I digress. I had to do a do-over because I'm having technical difficulties with my computer, hard drive, etc., etc. And so I'm starting over. Hopefully, touch wood, it'll work this time. And I'll show you now. I've already poured out a Gibson Martini, gin. Only real martinis are made with gin. All the rest are just imitators. So anyway, time to don the Fez. I've got my shaker in the freezer with more ice in it, so I know how you love to watch me shake the martini. But anyways, cheers. Greetings, fellow citizens. This is Citizen Kong, and welcome to another Fez Night. Tonight's Fez Night shall be called Fez Night, a YouTube institution. Cheers. Well, I started off before giving my apologies to Angie because there was some technical difficulties. Well, actually, not technical difficulties. There was a problem. Okay, I meant to call her. I did call her, but she didn't pick up. But apparently there was problems with her cell phone or something because it didn't ring on her end. And then she saw that she'd missed a call, and she tried calling me back. But I had my cell phone off, and the ringer to my landline is off. So anyway, but here's to you, Angie, for surviving such a, I don't know, I mean, I've never experienced a natural disaster that close to my life, so cheers. I mean, here's to you surviving it. And I hope that things are getting closer to normal over there. That is, if YouTube After Dark is ever normal. All right. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mentioned I was going to have 2 jobs. The first job, I'm not going to work as many hours as I thought I was, but they still want me back to do one special thing. But I really loved working there, and Timmy was so interested in that. And one of the things he might have seen, but I was on the local news because the local news visited our shop twice, and once I was in a group shot, and then the second time I was definitely on camera. So Timmy, so if you're interested in tracking me down on my new job, Timmy, okay, here's some clues. All right, let's see. We make something that every white person wishes that they owned. It's too close to drive, but too far away to walk. And the company's name rhymes with orange. Happy hunting! Cheers. So anyways, I survived the first week at my job, and it felt good to be back in doing what I do, TIG welding. And surprisingly, that I could find a place where my skill set was going to fit. A lot of times it was really frustrating when people, say, "Oh, you're a welder." They just think of this generic thing, welding. It's like, and there's some guys that, I mean, I can MIG weld, I can TIG weld, I can gas weld, I can arc weld or stick weld. I mean, I can do all those, but where am I strong enough to say that I'm a professional, where I could do it every day and not have no doubt there's going to be problems? TIG welding. TIG welding thin stainless steel and thin aluminum. And so uh, something worked out. Shot in the dark, got lucky, and they like me. I survived the first week, and I'll be going back. And that's why I'm recording this Fez Night on Saturday, because I'm so not used to drinking anymore that I want to be at my best Monday morning. So I've got all day tomorrow to recuperate. Because once I have one, man, I just can't stop. And so that's good. I'm fairly happy about that. And so my enemies, their wishes won't come true. Pops laying a bet on how long I would last. Not only do I kept the first job, I mean, I'm still going to put some hours in there. He didn't fire me. And I've got a second job. Yes. Oh, I don't mean to boast. And then Andy was wishing enough poverty on me to so that I would lose my internet connection. And so far, touch wood, things are okay. I'm not out of the woods yet, by no means, but at least I'm finally getting some traction in my life, and instead of feeling like I was just, slipping below the water line or whatever. Yeah, so I don't really have a lot to talk about. Hey, check out that Osama bin Laden getting caught there. And you still see these goofballs. Oh, he's been dead for years. I don't think so. Osama bin Laden, the most notorious anti-Zionist around. Those damn anti-Zionists. What's up with them? So anyway, all right. So I was being lazy, and I was tired, man. So I didn't answer any of the comments. So I'm going to put my readers on, and we'll go over the comments. And if you don't like this Fez Night, yeah, it's because I've been drinking. All right, where are we now? Yeah, these are not my new glasses. These are my readers, okay? And let's see. Where is that? Okay, so last week I did a Fez Night called Instant Fez, all right? And I will go, let's see, was this part? Boy, I'm really bad at this, aren't I? I am really bad at this. Okay, we'll go back to Fez, to part one. And my balls, as Harry said, there are plenty of necks in San Jose. And when I was talking about rednecks being more of a southern thing, yeah, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. Because, but usually when you think, oh, damn, well, redneck. But anyways, San Diego, all of East County is pretty much redneck, okay? Yeah, they've got rednecks everywhere. Let's see. Cyber Times comment removed. Barfly Brooks talking about Kong in a sexual manner is repulsive. As I said, calling me gay is an insult to gay people. Pops, idiot. Pops is still going around acting gay. He has this channel called Fez Night, and he goes around, tee. Fuck you, Pops. It's the gin talking, but I mean it. All right. So anyway, let's see. Guy LaFrog, which is my friend John over in England, says, and Cary Grant orders a Gibson in North by Northwest. I'm gonna look up the recipe. It's vodka and a martini a certain proportion, isn't it? No, it's actually gin. Real martinis are made with gin. What's L. Brookman moaning about? Fez Night is a Monday morning ritual for me. Let me turn the brightness up here. It's better because the wife's out of work and the kids are at school. Oh, she's out at work. And so no interruptions. Well, you never know. Yeah, okay, I might post this tomorrow. I don't know. How would I want to tinker with your Monday morning tradition? And Tully Sorensen, which I'm wondering, who is this Tully Sorensen? Starting to bother me. But Tully Sorensen says, thanks to the mention, it was quite flattering. I mean, I've been having problems with trolls that appear friendly and then turning on me. And not that I'm like sending them PMs as like, oh yeah, you're great. Oh, awesome, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like somebody I know, they got fooled. Said, yeah, you get it, man. You're so awesome. Like kissing his ass in the PMs. Yeah, we know what I'm talking about. We're talking about the Hunter S. Thompson and Pops and Lisa. You guys got so, I'm going to say it, owned. You totally got fooled on that. Let's see. Tully Sorensen says again, Citizen mentioned that he was unsure of my gender in his last video. Please note that I am a guy who chose this name because it is the only name from Barfly that is available. Actually, the true spelling of Sorensen is with a second O, not really Sorensen. Yeah, well, it is distracting on YouTube when a male uses a female icon. It still leads one to think. And the way you're mixing it up in comments on my channel, it doesn't seem like you're exactly a newcomer. And I had my suspicions that you were the friggin' Space Monkey, because Space Monkey seemed rather effeminate. And Tully Sorensen, you're not this whole like being a gentleman. And I appreciate you saying that I'm a gentleman. I try to be a gentleman, even though I slip up sometimes because I get angry. Especially with women that are not ladies. If a woman is not a lady, why should I be a gentleman? I mean, it's pushing the envelope. So I have my doubts, Should learn not to trust anybody on YouTube. I've had that problem. I'm too trusting of a person sometimes. All right, so who was this said this? Leslie Blood says, edit this down to 45 seconds. Oh, yeah, great. And he says, oh, yeah, you birther, oh, yeah, you have an Indonesian president. No, I disagree. But it sounds like you've bought into a lot of that conspiracy crap. And you're not even an American, right? Why do you listen to that? I thought people overseas got a better perspective, but perhaps not. And so the Truth Devour says, this was interesting. I thought about this. That's my favorite line as well. When I said that I believe he's talking about, oh yeah, about Eddie. Why did it have to be Eddie? Macho energy and all that stuff. Says, that's my favorite line as well. But I'm pretty sure Bukowski would call you a pussy too. You're a pure heart, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was more like Henry 7 years ago before I quit drinking. Drunk, violent, disgusted with the world. I always kind of hated Charles Bukowski for that. It was sickening to know a man could make a living out of something as meaningless as rage and cynicism. But it was all I could really feel back then. And that was Truth Devours. Yeah, probably I'd have to agree with you. Because Bukowski, God, I've read some of the accounts from friends of his. He was a terrible, terrible man when he was drunk. And so, yeah, I wouldn't go toe to toe trying to drink with Bukowski. And yes, I am a sensitive kind of person. But his book, Ham on Rye, and I can't go into details because it's too personal, but I really, really related to that character. And I can't help but think, if I met Charles Bukowski when he was somewhat sober, I think he and I would have something we could talk about. Yeah. Let's see. Tully Sorensen says, Osama bin Laden is dead. I bet Colonel Gaddafi is sweating a bit more tonight. Yeah, possibly. One of Gaddafi's kids, something killed by a smart bomb or something? This isn't going very well, is it? But at least I'm responding to my comments, eh? All right, so Bobo McGraw says to Tully Sorensen, you hear his son was supposedly killed in one of the Allied bombings? Yeah. Not sure if it has been verified yet, but he is the one who made the claim. So we're talking about Gaddafi there, right, Bobo? And then Live Life Always 2 said, I was going to tuck in and watch this, but Osama just got iced and I'm watching the news later. Yeah, yeah, I was recording Fez Night and completely not aware of what had happened until after I was uploading the video and got to check some stuff out. Okay, so Real Man Cartoons, which is Real Man, you know, with your whole like birther thing and your global warming thing, and Osama has been dead for years, you know I think you're a kook, okay? You know that. And so when somebody attacks you, I can't help but laugh. But even I will not condone the dropping of docs on my videos or on my channel. So somebody came by called, what was that? It was right here. Somebody came by called Real Man Cartoons, and I said, you know I can't support dropping docs, but thanks for being the first to comment. So I removed his comment because it was Real Man Stocks. Then on to part 2. My Balls is Hairy said, the skipping kind of reminds me of Max Headroom. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I don't know what went wrong. I was pretty much doing what I usually do. What I've been doing that's been working for a while is I've been... Earlier tonight I tried recording it on QuickTime and it stalled and it crashed. And so now I'm using the iMovie and recording it directly into iMovie. And the last time I did it, it just started like skipping and lagging and just doing weird stuff. So I guess to take no chances, I don't know what I did wrong, but I've turned everything off, restarted the computer, and I'm just running one simple program, text edit, and iMovie. So hopefully we won't have any problems this time. And let's see, Cyber Times. I don't remember what the Cyber Times said, but the comment is removed. And Bowman McGraw said, did you see the wedding promo? Oh, so I was talking about the royal wedding. Did you see the wedding promo stuff on E! Entertainment? It was so cheesy. No, I didn't, but I could imagine it was. I'm glad I didn't see it. Let's see. Cyber Times again. Comment removed. And Barfly Brooks says, Khan got Bin Laden killed. He kept leaving voicemails. Well, he wouldn't return my call. Mume says, yeah, where's my Fez? I don't know, Mume. Do you want a Fez? I know, share one of those special private videos you've been sharing, and perhaps we can make an arrangement. Boba McGraw says, making the assertion that there is no climate change because the unusual weather we're experiencing now was also around during the Ice Age is a pretty piss-poor argument. Yes, and I concur. Boba McGraw is one of the very first friends I made on YouTube, and we're still friends. And because the kid, because he's a young man comparatively to me, but the young man is just whip smart. We don't agree on everything. I remember, early on when I was still had a taste for controversy, or as my friends in the UK would say, controversy. Yeah, I made a video about abortion, and I think there was some disagreement on that. But yeah, you know, what's a disagreement among friends, you know? And so, let's see. At least that's the way I remember it. America's Most Whiniest. Okay, now she posted like 3 comments there, and they're all kind of similar. Let me pick one. I'll just say, she says, really? I am ruling the world. I only come out in my king suit during the doodah. Oh, she was in the doodah parade. I don't know you enough. Have you seen my boobs and legs? No, Derwina. No, I haven't. And crazy uncles usually do bad things at Thanksgiving. I tried to call you now. Blog to no one. America's Most Whiniest. You intrigue me. You definitely do. I won't say any more. Yeah, I was talking about Jeff Davis, a.k.a. Nigel Cromwell, saying how I still think he's funny, and I don't dislike the man. I actually love you, man. But like I said many times before, you're like the crazy uncle that has like those weird-ass opinions, and you're sitting there over dinner like, yeah, the damn Zionists, and, Obama's been dead for years, and global warming is a hoax. And you're just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Have some more apple cider. Still, that guy could make me laugh sometimes, man. I would laugh so hard, man. I was like almost getting sick. Yeah, boy, he'd make me laugh so hard sometimes. But it's funny. So you see that David Duke video he's got featured on his page. I know it's not great idea because I was a big admirer of Paul Simon, the senator, and when people make attacks on their appearance rather than their personality or their morality or their convictions. Of course, David Duke was a former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. I never saw him go on and truly recant what he believed before. All he did is he just changed the language. Okay, now that I can definitely criticize him on. But on the personal appearance thing, what's up with his hair? What is that? His beard is like gray ghost white. It's completely white. And then he's got like this full head of brown hair. Please. He's not fooling anyone. He's wearing a full-on wig. Come on. And the guy wants to run for president. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so, and then I was talking about Jeff's comparison with the royal family and Hitler. Like he actually said the royal family is worse than Hitler. And then esoteric occultist said, actually, a good comparison can be made between British rule and Hitler. In fact, the J. Henry Schroeder Company and the Dulles brothers, connected to the British Rothschilds, helped finance Hitler. Eustace Mullins, who was influenced by Ezra Pound, who also influenced T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, Robert Frost, and Ernest Hemingway, has done a lot of great research in that area. The way I understand it, Coca-Cola created Fanta brand so they could sell soda in Germany. Henry Ford had ties with Nazi Germany. I mean, wasn't there some German vehicles that were made by Ford, or at least designed by Ford? And Charles Lindbergh was a great Nazi admirer, Adolf Hitler admirer. I mean, the idea that, and the Vatican had ties with Nazi Germany in some way or another. So to say that there's a good comparison made between British rule and Hitler, to say that the British Empire, which they said the sun never set on the British Empire because it went all over the world, these colonies are still, still like Canada and Australia still have ties with the UK, even though a lot of them don't like it. We've got Jamaica, we've got India. I mean, those are like completely free. We have the United States. Can you imagine what if Nazi Germany had succeeded, what their colonies would be like? I mean, I don't see the comparison. I mean, I really don't. I mean, sure, imperial rule is a terrible thing, but the United States does it. We just don't call it colonies. We annex. We turn places into territories. We establish military bases there. I mean, to say that they're worse than Hitler, I don't see it. I mean, sure, that Hitler had influences and people that were sympathetic to him. I mean, there was a strong Nazi movement itself taking root in the United States and England. But to say that in the end that we're worse than Hitler or the United Kingdom is worse than Hitler, my God, just think of the ramifications if they had won. What things would be like here in the United States. I really, and the United Kingdom was an ally during World War II. It's just insane. It's just insane. It just boggles the mind to say that the United States is worse than Hitler. Okay? Because to me, in my mind, saying the UK is worse than Hitler, oh, the royal family. really, what kind of influence did the royal family have on anything? Were they able to like create prison camps, you know, and rule over the local businesses like Krupp's and what later became Volkswagen? It's just completely outrageous. I don't know what to say. Let's see, Monk Castle, I really like this. Bin Laden was watching reruns of Fez Night when they killed him. Then the Real Sock Company, yeah, good, touche. Real Sock Company says, killed himself. Yeah. Why, he killed himself because he was watching Fez Night? Well, you're here. All right, we're done with reading the comments. All right, we're taking off my readers. And it's getting a little warm in here. Okay, I'm going to go get my shaker. I'm sure many of you were feeling like you missed out on not getting the cocktail shaker bit. So, all right, here we are. Okay, got a nice cold cocktail shaker. So, should run you through this. All right, just a touch of vermouth. I mean, for a really, really dry martini, you almost don't want to put any vermouth in it, but I'm just going to add, there's people out there that have their whole, like, put the vermouth in it, coat the ice, and dump it back out. I just put a couple drops. What the hell? What's the difference? And look at this. It's such a, who the hell drinks vermouth? Look how big, this is the smallest bottle I could find. It's ridiculous. I mean, they should actually be selling like eyedropper-sized bottles of vermouth. It's a racket. They're just trying to get us to drink vermouth when we don't want to drink it. All right, let me turn this brightness down a little bit. Oh, onward we go. What a strange Fez Night, eh? Yeah, because I'm drinking. All right, so we put the vermouth in. Shit, I forgot the most important part. I'm not going to bother getting another onion. I still got half one to go, all right? Because it was so big. All right, here we go. We're adding the Beefeater gin. I read something once, it was great, in a cocktail book, that says it's the 3 Bs. Beefeaters, Bombay, and Boodles. Don't need any of those other fancy wannabe gins. Oh, when you're really cool, you wrap it in a towel. I remember one of the first times Jeff Davis was watching a Fez Night, he said it looked like I was jacking off a donkey. Now, isn't that funny how Jeff's mind works? Now, I didn't laugh that hard at that one. You got a sick mind, Jeff. Oh. And what about that network of evil? Man is it scraping bottom. I tell you. What happened to the group that was, now look, excluding me? What the hell I had any involvement with it, I have no idea. Not a clue. But people that made videos, talented people like Gordon and Trisha, and of course Monk and Stan. And, you tried to make Doc Rusty a member, but then you got pissed because he didn't want anything to do with it. All right, cheers. Working on my second martini. Actually, it was almost 2 because I drank one while, it's actually more my third because remember there was a do-over. Well, now I've run out of things to talk about and I've already poured that other martini. Let's see, I gave clues on my new job for Timmy to track me down. And let's see, can I just say hello to people? Hey, Eileen. Hey, Barfly. Hey, Angel, America's Most Whiniest. Hey, Angie. Hey, my balls is hairy. Hey, Methadone for life. It sucks doing that because I know I'll forget somebody. I'll just stop now. Yeah. Not one of the better Fez nights, doing this on a Saturday night. And once upon a time, hold on, I'm looking for something here. Once upon a time, when I started doing Fez Nights, the reason why I picked Sunday night is because I actually had things I could be doing on a Saturday night. Okay? And Sunday night was just like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I knew I was going to be at home, so I'll post a video. And I'm not so much for like doing the direct upload and just posting a video on a whim, where these people have like the little back and forth arguments and stuff, and you know, no, I'm not so big on that. Actually, I think it's beneath me. Yeah, I know. I'm a bit of a shit sometimes. All right, so I'm looking for something here. And where is it? Aye. Aye. Okay, sorry. I didn't get enough views of my crotch there. All right, so yeah, and we're going on almost 30 minutes. And I didn't want this Fez Night. Oh, I should say hi to Al Brookman. Al Brookman. Al Brookman feels bad if he doesn't get some attention. Yeah, so I kind of picked a little quarrel with him, but I already know how he feels about waterboarding and torture, etc., etc. It's like anything goes. And but really, the smart people, and there's people in the CIA that they themselves will say it. You don't get any reliable information by torturing somebody. I think the people that like torture just are the people that same people like the death penalty. Somehow it appeals to the cruder side of their brain, the lizard brain. Oh, wow. All right, if any of you remember, I used to do this, and I thought I remembered, okay? I shake out my martini, and then I push. What I'm supposed to do is leave this on loose. In fact, just put it on upside down. Because if I close it tight again, as the shaker warms up, it builds up pressure and it blows the cap off. Well, it blew the cap off and it landed right in my drink. Oh, I still don't learn. Cheers. As I was saying, I wonder what word it did that on. It applies to the lower part of the brain that just likes the idea of revenge. It's like when you're a little kid and your brother hits you, it's just like you just want to hit him back. And that's the only way you'll feel better, So, and as far as like capturing and killing bin Laden, you know what? I feel good about that, okay? I can't help it, all right? I mean, in a way, it would have been kind of nice to capture him alive and then do the old, like in 1984, they say you don't kill the guy, that's like the revolutionary, the guy, the upstart. You capture him and you reprogram him. Of course, they kind of used torture in 1984 too, but anyway, that's a different subject. They basically reprogram them and then get them to recant on camera. And then you just sort of parade them out in front of the public and they recant and there's sort of like, oh, and that puts an end to it. Otherwise, you martyr them and it just inspires people to come after them, like so many famous martyrs in history. The movement doesn't die. I don't know if bin Laden's actually going to be a martyr, though. I mean, they're trying to show him as being kind of weak and broken, near the end. Yeah, but what a relief. And this whole thing about the way the right's trying to spin it, I mean, already, like somehow, like everything George Bush did made it possible for him to capture bin Laden. And even Monk said, don't quote war criminals. But even Donald Rumsfeld said, nah, the people that we tortured didn't have anything to do with us getting the drop on bin Laden. But, yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly doing cartwheels, but it did feel kind of good. And you know what? I'm glad it happened on Obama's watch. And touch wood, Obama has a way better record for terrorist attacks than George Bush. And a much better record for catching terrorists. There's no way around it. 9/11 happened on Bush's watch. And Bush was never able to capture Osama bin Laden. In fact, there was some CIA operative, or was he? It was on some news program. Some military guy said, "Man, we could have got Bin Laden, but Bush, for whatever reason, told us to pull back." So I don't know what's up with that. Plus, all the focus went on Iraq, and that didn't have anything to do with anything. Does the right still blind to that? You know, there were no WMDs. Oh, they're still like, oh, there was this mustard gas. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, bunch of bullshit. I tell you. Anyway, yeah, now I'm just eating time up. Because somehow Fez Night seems to be more than 30 minutes, right? What else? I don't know. A lot of people have been using Blog TV. I don't know. I wonder if I should use it. Excuse me for those of you that don't smoke, but I do enjoy a cigarette on occasion. Especially with a drink. Yeah, I've been getting some crazy shit with trolls on my channel. I already mentioned that, didn't I? Well, that's it. Perhaps I need to drink tea or coffee because I'm kind of at a loss for words. Or am I not fired up about stuff? Well, I think it's time. Well, everybody, thanks for watching this Fez Night. Maybe the magic is when I post it on a Sunday. Maybe that's it. All right, everybody, have a great week. Okay, we'll see you next time. Cheers.